All right, so today we're going over upper body exercises using both dumbbells and resistance bands. This is going to be a muscle building workout we are going to do together. So this is going to be follow along. So I'm going to be working out, and I hope that you're going to be working out with me or finding something that to add to your workout routine. So we're going to start out by doing incline bench press. So I'm going to start out with a warm-up. So for me, I'm going to grab a slightly lighter weight than I would typically do for this exercise, and that's going to get blood flowing into the muscle. So I'm going to start with my dumbbells right at my chest level, pushing out towards the front. This is working those upper fibers of the pec muscle. Now I'm changing up the variation. I did flat bench on Monday, so I'm doing incline bench today. I'm mostly recovered from that flat bench, but changing it up just a little bit to give, so I'm not hitting the muscle the exact same way 2 days in a row. I'm gonna go back to flat bench on Friday. So for a warm-up, I'm going to do about 10 reps of these just to get blood flow into the joint and muscle. This also lets me feel how sore I am from last workout. I know for my quads from last workout still feel very sore. I was planning on doing legs today, but I switched it to upper body because I know my quads are too sore to work out again. I need to give more time to recover and heal. And that means I'm going to be working those quads again on Friday at the earliest. So now I'm going to warm up my lats. So we're going to be doing a chin up. Now if you don't have a chin up bar but have a way to anchor a band up high, you could also do pull downs. I'm going to be warming up with pull downs before I go into the chin ups. So I'm going to use the band as my resistance for this one, reaching up high as I can go to really stretch those lats, and then from here, chest up, pulling down. Now my palms are facing towards my face because that will emphasize a little bit more of that bicep for me. I don't like to do straight pull-ups as much because I want to hit a little bit more of that bicep. I want to build up my arms a little more. So that's why I'm doing the chin up. I'm still working the muscles of the upper back, those lats, lower traps, those muscles around the shoulder blades. But with this chin up position, I'm also getting a little bit more of that bicep. And relax. So you should feel a little more warmed up. Heart rate could be going a little bit faster. Just checking my heart rate real quick. If you feel like you're not quite warmed up yet, you can always take the first set and work a little bit into, a little bit gradually into your full weight. So if you are doing a 40-pound dumbbell, you could start at 20 or 20 pounds, do a set, go up to 30 pounds, do a set, then do the third set at 40 pounds, and that's the first one we start counting. I feel pretty good, so I'm gonna go straight into my normal set. So we're gonna work out those chest muscles in that incline bench press. So I'm gonna bring this up to my working weight. I'm gonna be trying to do 3 sets of these because the multiple sets are what help build muscle. So you get a little bit out of the first set, a little out of the second set, a little out of the third set. All that compounds where it builds up. So I'm gonna kick my knees up and to get those dumbbells in position right at my chest level. And I'm not aiming for a particular rep range. I'm just going until I feel like the muscle's fatiguing. So when I feel like I could only do maybe 1 or 2 more, usually about 10 reps. But depending if it's a good day, I might get to 12. On a bad day, I might get to 8. So you're trying to go to where you feel that burn in the muscle. Keeping those hands wide, right over the top of your elbow. Really bringing the dumbbells all the way down to your chest and all the way back up. Since I'm doing both arms at the same time, it's not as important that I count these because I don't need to match it on either side. Just going to that fatigue point. I'm starting to feel it, so you can see I'm starting to slow down a little bit. And that's where I know to stop, where I get that burn in the muscle. So that for me, I think was somewhere around 12 reps that time. So I know for today, that's probably about where I'm gonna aim for sets 2 and 3, is somewhere around 12. But if I get 11, that's fine. Probably not gonna go past 12 though. Just as we get more tired, usually the number goes down rather than up. That's totally okay. It's Shoya says, greetings. Hey, welcome, glad you're here. Good to see you. So today we're doing some upper body exercises. We're gonna be doing a chin up. Now I'm using a resistance band to do an assisted chin up. So that's one thing I like about these resistance bands. You can either use it to do a pull down, or with a pull-up bar, you can use it to help you do a assisted pull-up, or an assisted chin up in my case. When pull-up is when your palms are facing forward, chin up is when your palms are facing towards you. And this gets you a little bit more of that bicep muscle emphasized. Both are great exercises. I just personally am going more for this one. Going all the way down to a full hang, as much as I can. Probably gonna go for about 8 of these. Let's go for 9. And that's about it. I'm really feeling that burn in the muscle. Where that muscle fatigue, it feels like it's pulling that muscle apart. And that's what you want to go for, is that whatever muscles you're targeting, if you're targeting the lats and the bicep, you should feel those muscles really straining against the exercise. And that's what's going to build up that muscle for you when you really feel that muscle working. If you don't feel it, either you need to change the number of reps, the weight, or sometimes even change the exercise entirely. So for me, for instance, I had to experiment a lot with different curls to find a curl that actually hit the muscle for me effectively. Shoya says, our hairstyles match now, by the way. Oh, did you go for a buzz cut or a shaved head too? I like it. It's really convenient and it helps me stay cool. Though I will say, it's easier to get sunburnt. I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. So I shave my head usually once or twice a week. Did you do it yourself, or did you get some help with that? Sometimes it's a little hard to get the back. All right, going for set number 2 of incline press. We're hitting the triceps, the muscles in the back of the arm, and the chest or pec muscles in the front of your chest, right underneath your collarbone. So starting with the dumbbells right at chest level, pushing out towards the front. Now pushing your chest out is good on this one. It opens up that chest, really lets you get that expansion, stretch feeling in that chest. And I find that it's really what emphasizes that pull for me in the chest. So I even arch my back a little bit because that really pushes my chest out to where I feel it the most. Remember, I'm not going for a particular rep amount, I'm just going to where I feel that fatigue in the chest. And that's it. So I drop it to my knees and sit up. That's an easy way to get out of this movement. Something I like about those dumbbells is they don't have anything on their ends. So if you sit on your knee, it doesn't dig in. So you almost shaved, you did a buzz cut where, that's great, where it's like an 1/8 of an inch or like a 1/16th, or what is it? That would be like a millimeter. What is that in metric? But yeah, where it's like really short. So this is a couple days of growth, so it's a little longer than what it will probably be on Friday for me. Do you like your hair that short? I find it's more comfortable for me. I don't like it around the ears when it starts to grow longer. I'm gonna grab a quick drink of water. So Shoya asked if the fly movement is less safe than the push. So I wouldn't say less safe. I think the fly is a great movement if it's comfortable on your shoulder, as long as you don't have pain in your shoulder doing it. And usually that means you're going a little too heavy with it. Try dropping the weight down. But the reason why I like the push better is because it also emphasizes the tricep. So what I'm doing is, when I'm pairing these exercises, I'm doing chest and tricep with the push. And while those muscles are recovering, I go to the chin up, because then that gets bicep and lat. The fly gets chest and bicep. So if I was doing flies, I wouldn't be able to go straight into the chin up because the bicep would already be tired. It wouldn't have time to recover. So it's a good exercise, just not for what I'm doing here for my superset. So it's all about not having overlapping muscles in that case. So you could do a fly, but it might make it so you can't do as many chin-ups if you do flies. You might want to do a fly and a reverse fly. So a fly being going this way, and then a reverse fly going this way. You could do both with dumbbells. Usually though, you need lighter dumbbells on those reverse flies. And that would be a good superset movement for that, because you get the bicep and chest, and then the upper back with the reverse flies. But that is a really good question. I like that you're thinking it through. All right, going for a chin up. Set number 2. Yeah, see this one? Definitely am emphasizing more my bicep. If I was doing a pull up, it uses bicep less, but still does use some of that bicep. So for me, that's why I'm doing the push and then the pull up. Not going for a particular number, but I know I went 9 last time. So I'm trying to aim somewhere around there. And relax. We'll say if you are doing a fly, which for those of you who want to see it, so if I was on a bench, if I was doing flies like this, if I get down to here and it hurts at my shoulder, what I would do is try and do it with a lighter dumbbell. So usually I can push more dumbbell weight because I've got more muscles involved. A fly though, harder for me to do that. So that's where I would say it would be less safe. If you have pain in the shoulder, drop the weight down. And going into set number 3 for incline press. Starting with the dumbbells right at my chest level. They can be slightly angled up towards your face. That's okay. That's what helps it feel more comfortable for me at my shoulder. And then pushing straight up. And one more. Oh. That burns. So the feeling you're looking for is either a pulling sensation or a burning sensation. One is mechanical tension for that pulling sensation, and that's one of the stimuluses of growth. That's something that helps cause muscle growth. That burning sensation is lactic acid, which also can lead to muscle growth. And if you feel both, that's perfect. You're getting a double stimulus or a double muscle growth adaptation. All right, going to chin-ups now. This is set number 3, I believe. So last set, I like to do 3 sets of 3 in the week for a particular muscle. And that gets me to about 9 sets. If I'm feeling especially strong on the day, I might do 4 sets if I feel like I'm not really tired out by the 3rd set. Because then I'm getting everything I can out of that muscle, but the whole thing is making sure I don't miss an entire workout day because I'm too sore or tired from the previous workout. Going all the way down and all the way up. Oh, and that's it for that. So that's definitely the end of that set. You feel I need to work on the person I am. I let my looks fall so I won't be dependent on them. Not quite sure what that means, but I'm glad that you're working on yourself as who you are. I think what's working on yourself internally is the better focus. So I think that it's good that you're doing that if that's what you're saying. So working on yourself as a person, it's the work on the inside first and then work on the outside. Because that's where real change happens, is working on your heart, working on the person inside. So let's see. Like Jesus said, you wouldn't clean the outside of a cup and leave the inside dirty. It's like, no, you clean the inside of the cup and then the outside. So same sort of thing. You fix the inside first and then the outside later. You can focus on that later. All right, and we're gonna go to arms now. So still part of the upper body. We're gonna focus a little bit more into those arms. So I'm gonna move this bench just a little bit. I'm thinking actually I'm gonna leave it here. I think I can do this around the bench without it getting in the way, because we will need it here in just a second. But for now, we're gonna shift to resistance bands. So on this one, we're gonna focus in on the triceps. So let me know if you know a name for this exercise. It's not quite a tricep kickback. I'd almost call this a tricep push down. So you're gonna start with your hands right at your chest level. I'm gonna show you sideways first. So from here, you're gonna push down to your sides. So you might need to loop the band or anchor it high enough where it has tension all the way up at the top. Thank you. This is well said. Thank you, I appreciate that. So I'm gonna loop this twice to make sure I have tension all the way up at the top of this movement. That feels good. So with this one, you're going to start with your hands at chest level and then push down to the sides. I'm still not feeling quite enough tension in this one. What I think I'm gonna do is actually go into a kneeling position like this, still the same thing. So I'm gonna start elbows at my sides. This is a little bit higher. So if I'm at chest here, yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go into a kneeling position, push my hands down towards my waist. You should feel this in the back of your arms. So we're working more of, not the long head of the tricep as much, but more of those, it's not medial and lateral, is it medial and lateral or is it middle and medial? I can't remember off the top of my head. I know this information, it's just hard to think and work out at the same time. But the two side heads of the tricep that are right around those elbows. So you should feel this more down by your elbow. And going to where you feel that burn in the arms. I think I'm gonna drop the camera down. So a tricep push down, that's a good name for it. So yeah, pushing down to the side, because the kickback is more like this. So it's not quite a kickback. You want to stand straight and tall, but it sort of is, yeah, push down, that's a pretty good name for it. That makes sense. I don't know if that was, yeah, I don't have names for all the exercises. That's the one thing. Everyone's got their own name for it, and so it's hard for me to keep track of what everything is called, because sometimes it's called a different thing depending on who you talk to. But I like push down. It's descriptive. Good. All right, and now we're going to do a laying down curl. For this one, I'm gonna drop the weight a bit because this is a pretty intense curl. So I'd start lighter than you think you need to. Hang on. I just have to make sure it's even on both sides. So for this one, you're gonna lay down and then from here, you're gonna drop your hands down to the ground and then back up. So really letting that bicep fully lengthen. You should feel a ton of tension in the bicep muscle at the bottom on the ground. I'm gonna move the bench just a little bit because it's hard to see. All right. Good stretch in the bicep. Yeah, you should be able to really feel that stretch. Like I said, I experimented a lot with different curls, and this one I found for me really is what made the difference in feeling that bicep working. It's hard to talk and do these because I have to really focus. It's very challenging. One more. And it doesn't take a whole lot of weight to get a really effective bicep workout on that one. Let me show this from a kneeling position here. So I'm starting with my hands about chest level or a little higher, and then straightening out down to the ground. Should feel that in the back of my elbow. So we're focusing in on the triceps and the biceps, which are in the upper arm. I'm keeping my elbows tight into my sides, and I'm not letting my chest carry me forward. I'm keeping my chest up. So it's all from that elbow. And last one, and relax. Oh, you can't really see me here. Yeah. All right, take a quick second, grab a drink of water. We're most of the way through, so we always do these exercises in pairs. So with this one, we're working the tricep and the bicep. We started out working the chest and back. Now we're working down into the arm. And if you'll stick with us, stick with me. The last one's gonna be for the shoulder after we get through our sets of tricep and bicep. So we're gonna hit everything in the upper body. So using bands for the tricep. So going to where you feel tension, I'm gonna kneel down, and then should feel that tension up here at the top, pushing down and back. Doing a tricep press down. Trying to do a weight that you can do about 10 reps is a good number to shoot for. Keeping those elbows tucked in at your sides. Oh man. This is set number 3. Oh man. And 10. Oh, that last one really burns. Troy says, try jamming your triceps against your lats and squeezing will be amazing. That's a great tip. So you can think about your triceps really pushing into those lats. I like thinking about tucking the elbows. That's another way of thinking about it that's really a good cue. Pushing the triceps back into the lats to really extend down. The other thing that does, I like how you mentioned that, is it keeps your chest up. Because if you bend forward, you're not jamming into the lats anymore. So we're pushing into those lats to really push down with the hands. All right. And last set of, did I do 2 sets or 3 sets? I'm losing track of my own workout here. I think that was set number 3, wasn't it? Let me know in the comments if I missed a set in there. My arms are getting more and more tired. So I'm definitely really feeling it. and going down to the sides, touching the ground and coming back up. Now you don't want to go down, straight downward. You want to go sort of forward, out and down. So I'm really opening up that bicep. Trying to create maximum length in that bicep. I'm gonna do 2 more. I'm really keeping my elbows tucked into my sides. And relax. Feel a real burn in the biceps. 3 sets for tries and 3 sets for bis. Okay, good, thank you. I'm glad. I'm getting to that point in the workout where I'm starting to be a little bit more fatigued. So it's easy to forget exactly where I am. All right, so for this last exercise, let me get this out of the way. There's 2 different ways we can do this. We can do it with resistance bands or with dumbbells. I'm gonna show with dumbbells for today. Let me know in the chat if you want to see how to do the resistance band version of this, and we'll try that. Yeah, Shreya, or was it 2? I don't know actually. John, I think it was 3. I'm pretty sure, and my arms definitely feel like it was 3. So I've got a good number of sets in. No front delts, so we're not hitting the front delts as much. This is more gonna be the side delts, okay? So for this one, you're gonna have your hands straight at your sides. If it was forward, we get more of that front delt. Because it's straight out to the side, we're gonna have more of the side delts. So with this one, we're gonna do a leaning lateral raise, okay? So the lean makes it so it's a little more stretched at the bottom, and that's gonna get us that hypertrophy or that muscle size, because we want that mechanical tension on that deltoid at a lengthened position. It's been studied more recently with especially the calf, I believe, and maybe the bicep. I know for sure the calf though, where a lengthened position caused more hypertrophy. That probably applies to more muscles than just the calf, so we're applying it to the deltoids with this one. So, hands starting at your side, thumb pointed straight towards the front, lifting up to the side, and then back all the way down to your leg. And what that's gonna do is really emphasize those deltoids. Now on this one, I'm gonna count it because I have to do the same on both sides to keep it even. 4, 5. Now, if I wanted to make it more anterior deltoid, more that front deltoid, I'd bring this a little bit more forward at an angle. 6. So if I keep it straight out to the side, it's gonna hit more of that middle deltoid. It'll still hit some of the front deltoid. Going for about 12 of these, I think. I'm always leaning away from that dumbbell side. Oh, it's really burning now though. And that's 12. And lifting up to the side. Now, on this one, I'm using a 10-pound dumbbell. Usually, it doesn't take very much weight for this muscle to really get a great workout. So small dumbbells are a great place to start, especially because that teaches good form. So if you start with a really heavy dumbbell, what often happens is the shoulder hikes up where you get more of a shrug, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for more of that lateral raise to emphasize more of that deltoid, that shoulder muscle that creates width in the shoulders. So we're building up that muscle. You're still gonna get some of those traps up here, but it should feel more down in that ball of the shoulder here. You're doing for 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. So Shoya brings up a good point. Not a big fan of the amplified range of motion for the upper part of the movement. So for some people, going up past the shoulder like that causes discomfort in their shoulder, or they feel a grinding feeling. And that's a really good reminder for us. So for me, I can go all the way up and I do not feel any grinding. But if you do, I would stop here for the deltoid and don't feel like you have to go into that upper range because some people are just how their shoulder is put together. There's a nerve that runs right over the top of that tendon there, and as the shoulder comes up, it can actually grind or press on that nerve. It's the same nerve that's in your funny bone, starts up here at the shoulder. So if you have discomfort in your shoulder going up past, I'd recommend just go to here. That's fine. You'll still hit the deltoid and you'll still get a great workout, because the important part is this bottom section down here. So that's a good cue. If you need to stop here, that's totally fine. Don't feel like you have to go up to this top range. If you can without any discomfort in your shoulder, then that will get you more of that upper trap. If you need to stop here, this is totally fine for this exercise too. So definitely would recommend, if it causes a grinding feeling, I would skip that upper range. It's not gonna hurt you to skip that. All right. And going back, I'm gonna try for 3 sets of this. So we're at set number 2. So we'll do just to the shoulder height today for these next sets, keeping tension on that deltoid. So there shouldn't be any grinding feeling or discomfort. Some people have what's called a painful arc if their nerve is pinched in their shoulder. If that's you feel the numbness down your arm, I would stop this exercise and get your shoulder checked out. It's a good indicator that there's potentially a nerve pinch in your shoulder. Oh man, and 10. I'm gonna stop at 10 on that one, as that is about as far as I can go, keeping good form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh. And something I do like about this exercise is, well, one side is working, the other side is recovering. So you can go from one side to the other pretty rapidly without a lot of pausing. So, leaning away, lifting up to the, whoa, I just had a cramp. I'm gonna give it just a couple more seconds. My shoulder just cramped as I started to lift up. Glad you brought, so Shoya says, glad you brought the lengthened part of the movement. Say showed same amount of growth for muscle using a stretch part of the movement and the full range. Yeah, and I believe they were testing biceps in that study, but it's, I have to go back and double check, but I believe a lot of musculature is probably similar. So it's not definitively for sure, but our best guess is that that is also going to apply to biceps, deltoids, pecs, other muscles. I believe they did, there has been a study for pecs as well. I'd have to go back and check. But it's good principles, good practice. You can probably feel the difference too. They tested biceps, lats, and hamstrings. Thank you for checking. Okay, so biceps, lats, and hamstrings, and that makes a lot of sense. That's one of the reasons we do that full hang in the chin up rather than just coming to here, where we get that last bit of stretch position. I should say chin up like this, because that last bit is where we get that full length of the rep, and where they, like Shoya brought up, tested the lats to really get that lengthened position. Plus, I like that a lot of people focus on the top of the movement and neglect the bottom of the movement, and that bottom is probably the most effective part of it. So that's why I like to emphasize that. So I think hopefully my arm is recovered. It cramped a little bit right as I went into it, so I took a couple more seconds to let that relax. If you can also do this with an incline bench, but I found that because you can just do this by leaning, I just tend to do it that way. Less equipment needed that way. And it usually is just as effective or just as easy to get a leaning lateral raise. So starting with your hand at your side, lifting up, only going as high as feels comfortable in your shoulder. So we'll go just to shoulder height and back. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there was a study done for calf and a separate study as well, or the gastrocnemius and soleus muscles. 3 more. 2 and 3. Oh my gosh. That last one really took a lot of effort. You can see I'm pretty red in the face. That means my body is dealing with a lot of heat. That's normal at this point in the workout. If you are working out at the gym or feeling sweaty or red in the face, just remember, that means you're doing the right thing there. You're working hard. You're working to your potential. So no one's judging you. No one's thinking about what you're doing or saying, oh man, they're working so hard. Like, what are they doing at a gym working out? That would be silly for them to think that that was unusual. So I would just say, hey, if you ever feel self-conscious about being red or sweaty, just know that that's normal. That is totally what you should be doing at the gym. And relax. Because all of us get a little bit shiny or a little bit red in the face when we're working hard. So the goal here is to help encourage people to start resistance training, to build muscle, to build strength and get healthy, and that we can do this together. I believe the calf stay was also a seated calf raise versus standing calf raise. I do know that there was another study done on that where they found, you're right, where there was, that has also been studied, where they found for the soleus muscle, the development of it was just as good in standing exercises as seated exercises, and the seated didn't hit the gastroc or the gastrocnemius muscle nearly as effectively. So that is another good study to know about. But with that, we're going to end today. So if you like this live stream, you want to do exercises like this and have a group of people around you to work out with you, I host these streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So hope to see you guys there. Thank you everyone for being here. Thanks for working out with me, and hope to see you guys next time.